And here we are now, 2 hours of stuff with me, and I am glad to say that my first guest, Ceri Thompsett, is here, live and livid, in the studio. Now then, Ceri, let me tell you a little bit about Ceri. She's a young entrepreneur. Now, there's a good word to use. Yes, she started her own business in July 2015 with help from the Prince's Trust, and it was a clothing range and all sorts of stuff like that, but you don't need me to tell you this. Much easier if we introduce her and she can talk to you. Good morning to you, Ceri.
Good morning.
How are you?
Not too bad, thank you.
Good girl. You found us okay.
Yes, we did, yeah.
We like that. We like that. We like that. Now then, Ceri, thank you so much for coming in on the show and being my first guest this morning. We're going to have a little chat about everything that you're doing. So let's just set the scene for our listeners. Tell us a little bit about your good self, where you're from, and how on earth you got into the world of retail and all that sort of stuff.
So my name's Ceri, obviously, as you introduced me. Yeah. I'm 28 and I'm from Portsmouth originally.
Portsmouth, yeah.
Obviously born and raised. I lived there until I was 23. Mm-hmm. I lost my granddad, which made me just not want to be in the area anymore. So I picked up my stuff, quit my job, and moved up to Cardiff.
Right.
So
okay. So that's how you ended up in our fair city.
Yes.
And so how long have you been here in Cardiff now?
5 years this year.
Oh well, I mean you're practically a native now then. Practically a native. All right. So what is it that's given you the bug to want to get into this really competitive world of retail and marketing and all that sort of stuff?
Well, I've always wanted to have my own business. Never sort of knew what I wanted to do fully or how to go around it.
Yep.
And it's not until I came up to Cardiff that I Googled really how to start a business, and the Prince's Trust came up as an option. So I contacted them, gave them my idea, and they said, yeah, come in, and I went on to the enterprise program, and that's pretty much where I started, really.
I see. All right. So therefore then, it's, as we said, hasn't been too long that you've been doing it, but clearly you must be doing something right.
I think so, yeah. The first year wasn't too good, but it's obviously picked up, and
wow.
So
I mean, that's always how it is, isn't it, really? I mean, you've got to obviously dip your toe in the water or maybe even jump straight in.
Definitely.
And clearly you were a very confident young woman. It looks to me like you are anyway, the way you burst in. So just tell us a little bit about what the business is that you've started.
Okay, so I do my own designs and have them printed onto T-shirts.
Right.
They're for adults and children, so they range from different sizes. I also do homeware, so I make my own candles, wax melts, room spray. I do shopping bags, canvas bags, cushions, footwear, gym wear.
Blimey, well, you do nearly everything. I mean,
pretty much, yeah.
Clearly there's lots of the big supermarkets out there that must be getting very worried and thinking, oh dear, we're going to have to watch her, aren't we? Excellent. Well, listen, we will talk more, Ceri, about all of this in due course. Sounds really, really interesting, and I mean, it's always really great to come across people who are absolutely, committed to their craft. So yes, Ceri's with us as my first guest this morning on Come On In. Ceri Thompsett is my first guest on Come On In this morning. We are talking about her being a very, very talented young entrepreneur. Now, isn't that a good word? Entrepreneur. Ceri, you've had a lot of help, obviously, from the Prince's Trust.
Yes.
So it's only fair, I think you ought to just walk us through what the whole project and principle of it was, and as we said, how you've got from the position that you started at to where you are now.
Yeah, of course. So I went on the course, which is called the Enterprise Program, which is for people who want to set up their own businesses.
Yes.
So we went on, it was a 4-day course. They taught you everything you needed to know. So you went through taxes, business names, how to work out profit, everything. And some things I honestly didn't even know I needed to know. I was a bit naive, obviously, at the beginning.
Yeah.
Some things I didn't even know I needed to know. So they covered literally everything. When I went in, I wasn't expecting much. So I was pleasantly surprised, obviously, how much they did cover.
Right.
So once you go through the course, you have to have weekly meetings, you do your business plan and your forecast, and they make sure it's pretty much solid. So you go through to then launch group, which is a bit like Dragon's Den.
Oh, yes.
It's so scary.
I bet.
So they literally, well, they don't rip it up. I would say they won't rip it apart, but they go through a business plan. They ask you questions that sometimes would catch you off guard, and you have to have answers. You have to prove everything that you need to pay for, and it is a really scary process. But I got through and I passed it, so that was absolutely amazing. I then got some funding, which then, obviously, then I started my business in July then, so everything had all been done. I started fresh in July 2015 then. I got a mentor as well, so I had a mentor for 2 years, and they're there to help me with everything, any problem I have, they're there to guide me.
So I guess that's really important, isn't it, to know that you've got somebody on your sort of your right hand there ready to come in. And you mentioned funding earlier on, so did that funding come through the Prince's Trust as well?
It did, yeah.
Okay. And does that sort of figure vary from sort of idea to idea, or is there sort of like a set figure to your knowledge? Or?
They do have a set figure for everyone, but then it would depend on what equipment you need. Some people don't need any equipment.
Of course,
sometimes they just need the training to have a business, and they've got everything else. Some people need to buy a van, or I needed to buy a heat press at the time, so it just varies really on what you need.
I can understand that. So, I mean, it sounds as though they were absolutely there every step of the way for you.
Absolutely, yeah. They were absolutely there. They helped me, because I'm dyslexic and dyspraxic, so I struggled a lot with my business plan.
Yeah.
There was also questions I didn't know what they meant because they worded it a certain way, and they were happy to sit with me, explain everything literally until the last minute, until we're finished, so it was absolutely fantastic.
So, approximately from the sort of first introduction that you had to the Prince's Trust to the time that the new fledgling company went live, I mean, how sort of long of a lead-in period were we talking about there?
Well, I went to the enterprise course in April 2015, and then I launched in July, so it was only a few months.
A few months, literally that. Gosh, I mean, that really is quite scary, isn't it?
It is, to know that you've got to have something. Well, you don't have to, but have something at the end of it that you're not fully on your own, but you still feel like you're on your own because you're walking away with something at the end.
So just tell us again then the sort of range of things that you're involved with selling.
Okay, so I started just doing t-shirts. I wanted to be the printer.
Okay.
People would get their numbers wrong, their names wrong as well, which so obviously they blamed that on me, so it was too much hassle, so I stopped the printing altogether and just did my own designs. That was for the first year, and then I introduced homeware, so I made my own candles, wax melts, room spray, and then I cosmetics, and every sort of few months I'll introduce something else, or add something to a range I already have, and sort of just grow that way.
So is all of this done online?
Yes, I'd say 90% online. I sometimes do markets at Christmas time, and the Prince's Trust do a pop-up shop they've done it for the last 5 years. I think it is about March, April time, and I've done it for the last 3 years, but other than that it's mostly online.
So if it is all online then, I mean, I suppose the obvious next question then is about your website. Presumably the Prince's Trust helped you then to get that designed and up and running as well?
It was part of the funding for me to pay someone else to do it. So I've been on my second website now, so the first one was completely done for me.
Yes.
The second one now I'm on, I've completely done myself, where I've learned skills and picked things up along the way. So, and
I guess that's probably the key to a lot of it, isn't it? That you're being given that sort of little push off as if it's a child on a bike almost, really. But once they can see that yes, you're cycling along there and you're keeping upright, they really then absolutely want you to fly, don't they? But they want you to fly solo, I suppose, rather than them be seeing to be sort of there all the time and helping you with this, helping you with that. Because when all is said and done, I mean, it's a business, isn't it?
It is, yeah. They're there, obviously, even in the background, they're there to answer any questions, or if you need any help, support. Sometimes if I have a down day, I ring the Prince's Trust, and they're always my biggest supporters, so it brings me back up to where I need to be. So,
well, there you are. I mean, I think that's a big thumbs up then to the Prince's Trust. So there we go. Carly, I am told you are going to Buckingham Palace in a few weeks' time.
I am, yes. I got my personal invite through the post the other day.
Like you do, like you do. So it's a garden party?
It is, it's Prince Charles's 70th birthday party in the grounds of Buckingham Palace. So.
Oh, very nice. Right, so that's going to be a big day out.
It will be, yeah.
Very big day out.
Yeah, big day.
And presumably you will actually get to meet His Royal Highness?
I expect so, and Camilla will be there as well, so I think I've heard that they're going to be doing rounds with all the guests, so you may have a chance to meet them.
Very nice too. I mean, really, it's been a wonderful scheme, hasn't it, down the years, the Prince's Trust? I mean, it's changed so many people's lives.
It has, yeah. It's amazing. The amount of people they've helped is amazing.
And, you know, as we've said, you're well on the way now, aren't you? I mean, you've been chucked in the deep end. Yeah. It's a question of sink or swim, but I mean, they've been by your side, and you're not doing bad.
No, I'm doing well, or better than I thought, so that's a winner in my book. So
well, there we are. Well, we'll have another little chat after the news, and we will give people the all-important contact details, so that if they want to look you up on the internet or on Facebook or whatever, they can. You are listening to Come On In. My name is Ceri Stennett. It's Tuesday morning. It's nearly 20 to 10. Yes, it's Come On In. That wonderful programme which has got lots of stuff in it. Yes, and our stuff at the moment, which is a nice way, or perhaps a naughty way of calling Carly Thompsett. She's not stuff. She's our first guest. And we've been talking all about her work and starting her own company, Anaphase. Yes, that's the right way of pronouncing it.
That's right, yeah.
All done with the help of the Prince's Trust. You're going up to Buckingham Palace for Prince Charles's 70th birthday because you're now a close personal friend and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. Exciting times, Carly.
Very, very.
So where does the business go from here?
I'm hoping to obviously grow it a little bit more. We've got some more summer stock, even, should I say?
Yes.
Coming out in sort of the next few weeks. So that will welcome us in. Sort of, we've got bikinis and swimming costumes, all holiday things, and different t-shirts.
Well,
so
absolutely, yes.
Nice,
it's holiday time.
Yeah,
so
in time for the sun, hopefully. Fingers
the
crossed.
sun. Yes.
So hopefully we'll sort of just big it up by that, really, add into ranges and growing it that way, really.
So I suppose this is, in a way, you'll say, yes, we've done a lot of hard work, but in a way, the hard work just keeps on coming, doesn't it? Because you can't let up at all.
Yeah, it's all the time. Like, the hardest bit, like you said, is obviously the beginning bit, and you just can't give up all the time posting on social media, and you've just got to keep up the pictures and the content to keep people interested, really, because the second you drop down, not that in a mean way, but people will forget.
As we said, it's a terribly competitive market, and obviously you already knew that before you started doing it.
I did, yeah.
And would you see eventually then possibly employing some boys and girls alongside to work with you in the future?
That would be a plan. It would be part of the Welsh Government, because obviously they like businesses in Cardiff and South Wales to hire people within.
Of course.
So that would be a goal, and it would hopefully be the next step from where we're going to get some Welsh people in to work for us.
Brilliant. Well, I mean, I think it goes without saying that we wish you all the luck in the world with the project, Carly. I think it's wonderful to see, as we said, a young woman who's taking the bit between her teeth, getting in there and getting in there and saying, right, let's take them all on, whoever it might be, whether it's Marks and Spencer's, Debenhams, Tesco's, you name it, whoever it is, you're going to get out there and give them a run for their money.
Yeah.
So now, where can people find out more about the company and about the business?
We have a website, which is anaphasestore.com.
Okay.
We also have Facebook, Instagram and Twitter, which is at Anaphase Store on each single one. So it's quite easy.
Do you want to just spell that for people so that they know exactly how that is spelled? Because it is a slightly strange name.
It is, yeah.
And where did the name come from?
It was a random find. It actually means sort of with sales and things like that, so it's completely unrelated to what I do. So
I see. Okay. So go on then, spell away so people know exactly how it's spelled.
So it's ANAPHASE store, as in shop store.
Right. Anaphase.
Yeah.
Well, as I say, we do genuinely wish you all the luck in the world with that. Please do come back in a couple of weeks or a month or so's time. Tell us how things were up at Buckingham Palace, because clearly we want to know, because we're always interested in these sorts of things. And then obviously you can tell us a little bit more about some of the maybe some more of your new ideas.
Oh, definitely. I'll take you up on that offer.
Carly, thank you so much for coming in this morning,
very much.
and we look forward to seeing you again soon.
Thank you.
So yeah, there we are. That's